Welcome to Renewi in Hoek van Holland. On this Renewi site, green waste is collected from greenhouses, nurseries, recycling centres, gardeners and private individuals and processed into compost, a natural fertiliser and soil improver. More than 200,000 tonnes of green waste is collected annually at this Renewi site. This material is sorted, chopped and mixed into an ideal mix for the composting tunnels. In the composting tunnels, the mixed green waste is converted into pathogen-free compost after a retention time of 72 hours at a temperature of 60 degrees. For an odour-free emission from this process, the air is extracted and purified by means of a biofilter. Of the 200,000 tonnes of input, 70,000 tonnes of compost ultimately remain. This compost is also processed into garden soil. And in addition to being used as fertiliser for agriculture, part of it is also used as biofuel for generating green heat and CO2. The moisture that is released during storage and during the composting process is one of the most difficult waste streams to treat and is referred to as leachate water. The leachate water from landfills and composting facilities is a complex combination of pollutants consisting of organic and inorganic components. HAUS Europe B.V. has been able to make an important contribution to purifying this waste stream, and we want to show you that in this short film. The leachate water is biologically purified at the Renewi wastewater treatment plant. In biological purification, organic and inorganic components are converted by activated sludge consisting of bacteria. Bacteria are living organisms and, just like us, need three basic things: food, heat and oxygen. These bacteria live in suspension in the water and use the waste products present as food for their metabolism and growth process. The biological treatment is divided into two parts: an oxygen-poor part for ammonification, where bacteria do their job and ammonia is converted into ammonium; an oxygen-rich section with aeration, where bacteria convert nitrite into nitrate. The Renewi treatment plant treats 90,000 cubic metres of leachate water per year. At the end of the purification process, two streams remain: the treated water, which we call effluent, the residual solid, which we call sludge. The purified water contains no suspended solids, but in this case still has a very light colour. This water is biologically treated one last time in the Delftland wastewater treatment plant before it finds its way into the surface water. The sludge is biological sludge and consists of the feces of the bacteria, dead bacteria and inorganic residual material. This sludge is the material that we will treat with the HAUS decanter centrifuge. HAUS Europe B.V. has delivered the complete sludge dewatering installation. This consists of the following three turnkey delivered container units: the chemical storage area, the sludge dewatering with the HAUS decanter centrifuge with discharge, screw and container filling system, the office from where the control and management of the entire water treatment takes place. The heart of the sludge dewatering installation is the HAUS decanter centrifuge. In the HAUS decanter centrifuge, the sludge is separated into a solid part and a liquid part by means of centrifugal force. This separation takes place because there is a specific gravity difference between the liquid and the solid in the mixture. The separation in the decanter centrifuge takes place in a few seconds because the bowl rotates at high speed. The G-force, as we know it here on Earth, is increased from 1 G to 3000 G. What does that process look like? Sludge is pumped from the treatment plant to the decanter refuge via a feed pump. Ferric chloride is added just after the pump and mixed in using a flocculator to correct the pH. Polymer is added just before the decanter centrifuge, which ensures that very small floating particles are bound together into larger particles, the so-called flocks. These flocks are then separated from the liquid by means of the G-forces. We can easily imitate this process on a laboratory scale, whereby you can already see how the solids sediment at 1 G. This process is accelerated in the decanter centrifuge. The dewatered sludge that is located against the inside of the bowl wall is moved towards the conical part of the decanter centrifuge by means of the internal screw, which rotates with a speed difference relative to the drum. At the end of the conical part, the dewatered solid fraction leaves the decanter centrifuge as granular material that we call the sediment or dry matter. At the rear, the clarified liquid leaves the decanter centrifuge that we call liquid fraction or effluent. The liquid fraction from the decanter centrifuge is completely free of suspended solids, and in the case of this leachate, only has a slight yellowish colour. The solid matter from the decanter centrifuge falls at the end of the conical section into a screw conveyor, which divides the granular material into two containers. This dry matter is also composted and reused as fertilizer. The entire sludge dewatering process, the production of the polymer in the so-called polymer installation, the control of the pumps, the monitoring of the sludge levels, the monitoring of the pressure in the piping, the temperatures of the bearings, the rotational speeds, and any vibrations, including the filing of the two sludge containers, are included in the HAUS control panel. Obviously, this control panel includes all components that enable an unmanned and safe 24-hour process. From the office, the entire treatment with all functionalities can be managed and monitored via the SCADA system. The HAUS sludge dewatering section is also an integral part of this complete control system. A piece of sustainable technology as a contribution to a full circular economy, where waste materials become raw materials again. Because as they say at Renewi, there is no such thing as waste.